ago, who would have thought that the peaceful seaside fishing town of Monterey, California would become world famous, not for Cannery Row and sardines, but for jazz music. It took a group of citizens headed by a disc jockey to change all that. Jazz music's appeal cuts across all social lines. People come to Monterey from every place, all kinds of people, and the show is just as good off the stage sometimes as it is on stage.
Welcome to the 10th Annual Monterey Jazz Festival. It's very gratifying to see a group of officers assembled here this evening. Now, when we speak of the Monterey Jazz Festival, we admit and know that it has been given national coverage. In the past 9 years, we have been successfully, and it is hoped that this year we will be equal successful. I like to think that I have in this group this evening the most picked men in Monterey County.
Monterey is always a festival of surprises. In 1967, Dizzy Gillespie walked on stage to play with the Modern Jazz Quartet, unannounced, and it was a moment of jazz history because the MJQ began as Dizzy Gillespie's rhythm section.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're aware of the fact that these are my sons.
Is there anything else I'd rather be doing? As a matter of fact, no, I'd like to do 4 or 5 of these a year. I like to do jazz festivals. I think I've now become pretty good at it. And I'd like to be able to get the image of a Monterey type of a presentation into other areas. And I have a lot of ideas about it.
Jimmy Lyons, a pioneer jazz disc jockey, became a dropout from big city radio in San Francisco and went to Monterey. And he brought the music that he loved to the place that he loved, and today he's the general manager of the Monterey Jazz Festival.
Well, when the Monterey Jazz Festival began in 1958, at that time, a little bit touch and go, but it came off. It was, I guess, as clumsy and as rudimentary a type of a program could ever be put together. I don't imagine that if we'd let everybody go on the full length of time they'd wanted to go on, that here 10 years later we would have had the show over with because they were so busy. And we had the place just mobbed with artists. And I think some of them actually got on for 10 or 15 minutes. But I think that later on in discussions, we evolved the idea, Mr. Gleason and I and John Lewis, of the fact that a musician should be the musical director of the festival, someone that other musicians looked up to. So here in our 10th year, of course, we have the man who served in that role since 1959, in the person of John Lewis of the Modern Jazz Quartet, whose fame is international, and as a gentleman, as a musician, as a scholar.
Pianist John Lewis is musical director of the Modern Jazz Quartet, and he's also the musical director of the Monterey Jazz Festival. In the latter role, he works with Jimmy Lyons on programming the shows, and he handles the rehearsals. On Friday morning, John Lewis rehearses tenor saxophonist Illinois Jacquet for the Friday evening concert.
That's a couple like a John.
He wants a Latin introduction, Daniel, for the
in the first course,
this whole first course.
Introduction and the first course.
Oh yeah, when we get it together.
When we get it together, it'd be like a Latin introduction on rhythm, you know, piano rhythm. It's not fast, it's moderate, you know. It's danceable, moderate. And then you get to the bridge and pick the tempo, just go right into the bound. It goes back up yeah, it's something that it's a little different than a straight 4/4. And then you go right into the swing, into the bridge, when you get to the bridge.
Good.
Well, I know when we get it together.
Right, no, it's coming.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Just open break. Let's try some break through.
Right.
Right on. Fine.
I get here about 9:30 in the morning, it's nothing to have 50 to 200 people laying on the ground or standing up just waiting for you to get here to buy whatever you might have. It's only been
Even a music festival needs businessmen, and Artie Samuel is a businessman. He's a professional box office manager from San Francisco who handles the ice volleys, basketball games, concerts, boxing matches, and once a year, the Monterey Jazz Festival.
All I have is closed-circuit TV for Saturday night, sir, and they're $4 each.
Yeah, what do you got? You got anything for the matinee open?
No, the matinee's the same situation, just closed-circuit TV, and they're $3 each.
Give me four for closed circuit for Saturday night.
$16. Thank you, sir.
Dave Herman?
The Monterey Jazz Festival couldn't exist without the volunteer assistance of a long list of local businessmen. For instance, Walter Buck Williams, an optometrist, who's in charge of the ushers that weekend.
Here, aisle captain for odd section. Lewis Ward? Here. Where are you? There you are. Aisle captain for the odd section. Jessica Gressett? All right, section 1. Aisle captain is Doug McNeil. Martha Henning? Roddy MacArthur? Joyce Bird? Now, the people who are working in the odd and even sections, I want you to check those box seats and then recheck them. And if there's anybody in there that doesn't belong, out. And don't argue with them, because there's a lot of people that pay good dough for that, and they'll come down from these upper sections or move up along the side. And don't let them in there. One thing, when you go back to your section, look it over, and look over the rest of the arena, because you're going to get asked all kinds of questions, from where is section G to where are the bathrooms. Now, this gate will be open until the show starts, and then it will be an exit only. This will be closed at all times. There's no more coming in there. So you've got an entrance down here and an entrance here, and this will become an exit after the show starts. I'm telling you all this because you're going to get asked all this. Now watch people coming forward out of those seats. Again, everybody, check those stubs.
When you put on a festival for 10 years, it begins to have a life of its own. Many people help at Monterey, of course, but the festival really runs in grooves that have been dug deep over the years.
Get your program here. How about a nice souvenir picture program here?
Big warm welcome for B.B. King, King of the Blues. B.B. King.
We thank you very much. I've been downhearted, babe, ever since the day we met. I say I've been downhearted, baby, ever since the day we met. Our love is nothing But you said, I want a counting light. I bought you a $10 dinner. And you said, thanks for the snack. I'll let you live in my penthouse. You said it was just a shack. I gave you 7 children, and now you want to give them back. Yeah, every Christmas day we met. I say I'm in love with nothing but blue. Baby, how blue can you?
An innovation this year was contemporary folk singer Richie Havens.
Let the river rock you like a cradle. Climb to the treetops, child, if you're able. Let your hands tie a knot across the table. Come and touch the things you cannot feel, and close your fingertips and fly where I can't hold you. Let the sun rain fall and let the dewy clouds enfold you. And maybe you can sing to me the words I just told you. And if all the things you feel ain't what they seem, then don't mind me, 'cause I ain't nothing but a dream. The sun and moon both are right, and we'll see them soon through days of night. Come see where your eyes cannot see, and close your eyes, child, and look at what I'll show you. Let your mind go reeling out and let the breezes blow you. And maybe when we meet, suddenly I will know you. If all the things you see ain't what they seem, then don't mind me, 'cause follow.
Well, I don't know what the flavor of the festiveness of a festival is attributable to, but I kind of think, I'd like to think, that when you're discussing a festival, as John Lewis pointed out to me 9 years ago, as long as you're going to do a jazz festival, you must think of two things, and one is the word jazz, naturally, and the other one is festival. And the Europeans know how to put on festivals, and they make it colorful, and they make it festive, and I thought about that for quite a while. And of course, I said to myself that this should be this for everyone, and over the years, I think it's become this way. And I dare say people do come to Monterey simply because they want to look at the other people. The way they dress, the way they appear, and there's a great fraternity in a festival atmosphere if I think it's properly created. Of course, you must also remember one thing: there's probably no more benign setting for a commercial enterprise than this particular fairgrounds, the only fairground in the state of California that is completely grassed and which has lovely old oak trees. And the setting itself makes it festive, and we try to just add a few little colors that nature didn't provide and make it a happy event. And I think we've been quite successful in that particular role. I know it's the way I personally feel, and if I have anything to do with it, I would be most happy to say that that's a part of it, but I don't think it is. I think it's the people themselves who create the festive nature.
In the 10 years of Monterey, writers from all over the world have stated their opinions and philosophies concerning it. No one seems to have summed up the mystique of Monterey better than Stanley G. Robertson in the Los Angeles Sentinel. He said, "Jazz is many things to many people, an art form, a livelihood, a method of self-expression, a form of entertainment, even mental therapy. It is not in itself a way of life, but here at Monterey, from the first time the first note is sounded each September until long after the last sound of the applause is dimmed, jazz is a way of life. It becomes the common denominator, the esprit de corps, which unites and serves as the underlying bond, cutting across formality, convention, racial barriers, religious prejudices, and social classes. That's the way Monterey is."
Woody now or what? Or Woody's rehearsal?
Let me put you in touch with one of our people.
All right. What hotel am I coming to?
You have reservations San Carlos.
Picture that? I think you're trying to tell me something. Yeah.
As Daddy in a picture with
And Mommy.
and Mommy.
Oh, yeah. Where is he? Where is she? No,
In the car. Come say hi.
Yeah, go ahead. Go out there and holler.
One, two, one, two, three, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one.
Every year, there are unexpected successes at Monterey, and it usually earns the performer a repeat appearance the next year. Don Ellis's big band, which plays complex contemporary jazz, was one of the hits of the 1966 festival. And so Jimmy Lyons brought him back again in 1967 to open the weekend. On Friday afternoon, Don Ellis rehearses on stage.
One, two, one, two, three, one, two, one, one, two, three.
This is not a jazz festival arena. This is a state of California installation in which you present a horse show, and that's it. This is similar to any horse show arena in the United States at a fairgrounds, probably a little nicer looking than most of them. But this is what it's designed for, a horse show and not for a jazz festival. They haven't had any stampedes that I know of, but they've had everything else. But out in the field, you have this much space, which is 250 feet by 120 feet width, and we seat up to 5,000 people on the floor of the grounds. You can mount somebody's elephants in the entire New York Philharmonic and still have room left over for a couple of canary acts. But we shorten the stage from the rear. We bring it in from the side so the line of sight and people sitting anywhere in the stands can see well. We're very proud of our sound system that a local man has evolved. Once in a while something blows up, but that adds to the fun. We get them fixed up in time. I think it actually started as a dream in San Francisco about the late 40s, early 50s, when a very dear friend of mine, Ralph Gleason, and I were discussing the idea that wouldn't it be wonderful that since they have a very well-known festival in the East, to do one on the West Coast. And we just talked idly about this, and a few years later I moved to, 1953, I moved to Big Sur down the coast from Monterey, fell in love with the entire area and the beauty of it all. One day on the phone I called Ralph and I said, you know, I think it'd not be a bad idea if we were to do one in Monterey, and I think we've got a pretty good site. It's a very sylvan setting, and it's a delightful place to go to. It's one of those kind of areas people like to go to as a resort. And so with that, I carried the idea to the then Chamber of Commerce Special Events Department. We investigated the idea so much that we invited Louis Lorillard, who was one of the founding patrons, I guess, of the Newport Festival, to come out on one of his trips to Monterey to meet with a group of interested citizens. We had perhaps 100 people who were interested at a lunch down on the wharf here in Monterey. And with that was the beginning, I guess, of what is now the Monterey Jazz Festival. I think that the only major problem we have with the Jazz Festival is what you just heard. That's airplanes who take off about 150 yards from here in the public airport in Monterey Peninsula. And we've tried everything short of anti-aircraft guns, but we haven't been successful yet.
Mel Eisenberger, president of the Monterey Jazz Festival, joins Jimmy Lyons and John Lewis in meeting the plane bringing violinist Jean-Luc Ponty from Paris. In 1967, Monterey featured a contingent of European jazz musicians, selected by John Lewis. They symbolize the international nature of jazz today.
I'm delighted you're here. We're very happy. Long trip? Tired? Is this your first trip to the United States? Yes. Beautiful.
Okay. Good to have you aboard. Hope you have an enjoyable stay while you're here.
John is living in the same hotel, and everything's fine.
Okay,
He can
nice.
tell you everything, and then a lot of people are coming out and want to see you. So we'll arrange to get you around.
You can relax tonight and enjoy a little bit, and then tomorrow sightsee.
Yes, I think it's necessary. I wasn't.
Curtain time approaches and the festival office is a madhouse. The telephones ring. People demand answers. They've lost their tickets. Contracts are still to be signed. Musicians get lost. Where is Dizzy Gillespie? He missed his connecting plane. Dizzy actually arrived with a police escort that night just in time to go on. Poole played bass and drums for Carmen McRae. She only brought a piano player. Then a film crew working on a documentary on Dizzy Gillespie arrives unexpectedly. Can someone get them rooms? Where can they work? Believe it or not, it all works out okay, and the show somehow goes on.
I wanted to get together with you because we had one special thing that we could have done, but it worked out okay anyway. You're going to do it the same way then? Introduce the thing and then,
Yeah, the rumble.
And
however you figure it out. I'll come down early and we'll figure it out if there's some special way of doing it.
well, what I thought we could do is like, we'll put that...
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to begin an evening I hope will be a memorable one for you and one of the greatest you've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, behind me, the Don Ellis Orchestra.
Western Overture, huh?
George Bruntz on piano. Nils-Henning Orsted Pederson on bass. Daniel Humair on drums. And the brilliant Jean-Luc Ponty. Jean.
Yes. You better have.
Dizzy, I always have a line. I say you can't do a festival without Dizzy Gillespie, and I almost think it's true. Would that you could always have him with you wherever you do one because of his own nature. Dizzy's one of the most festive people I know, and in most any way you want to say it. But Dizzy Gillespie, to me, means festival.
You say father, and you really mean it.
Oh, I just viewed him.
Me too. You say father and really mean it. Really mean it. Right. I'm warmed up now from today.
Singer Carmen McRae holds court in the dressing room downstairs.
All I want to do is get dressed, y'all.
I can turn right back. I don't know about the camera.
Hello, sweetheart. Oh, look at it. Well, look at Hippie. Listen, you're too hip. Ralph, I keep telling you that. You're beautiful, though. You are just beautiful. Well, look at this man here. How are you? He's outside. And if you don't give me a kiss, I'm going to hit you. How you feel, sweetheart? How you playing your bongo? Very good, baby. How you feeling? Good. You take care of yourself. Okay, baby. All right, darling. Okay. And look, tell them up there not to come down for about 10 minutes. All right. Okay. You see, I got a camera and a mic here. They're going to get it all anyway. So if they just wait, they'll see it on film. And I'm great in color. Yeah, Bert. How do I go out of here? Through this door? All right.
were like a red and ruby chalice, warmer than a summer night. The clouds were like an alabaster palace, rising to a snowy height. Each star its own aurora borealis. Suddenly you held me tight. I could see the midnight sun. Was there such a night? It's a thrill. I still don't quite believe. But after you are gone, there was still some stardust on my sleeve. The flame of it may dwindle to an ember, and the stars forget to shine, and we may see the meadow in December, icy white and crystalline. But oh, my darling, always I'll remember when your lips were close to mine, and we saw the midnight sun. We saw the midnight You're my joy and pain, my life's yours, love. Don't explain. You know that I love you, and what love endures. All my dreams are of you, for I'm so completely yours. Cry to hear folks chatter, and I know you cheat. Right or wrong can't matter when you're with me, sweet. Hush! Oh, Lord have mercy. Don't explain. That's him, folks. You're my joy and pain, my life is yours, love.
can help myself. I can help myself.
Let me tell you something. I'm so glad you couldn't help yourself. I don't know what to do.
Hey, you know what? I was afterwards. You know what? I was just back there talking to one of my old alumni,
Yeah.
Cecil Payne.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting there. I told him, I said, well, just a minute now. If you miss 2 bars of Carmen McRae, you miss a whole life. What do you say about that? You better believe it, baby. And you busted out that is now. And when you came in, I thought it was Charlie Parker on the alto. I swear. I swear. When she did, her voice was so clear, I swear. I thought.
You don't expect me to follow that now, do you?
You can follow anything, baby.
Tonight you're hearing the world premiere of a commissioned work, Concerto for Herd, written by a young man who was with us about 10 years ago. In fact, he was here in our first year, playing tenor saxophone. The brilliant composer, writer, conductor, Mr. Bill Holman, ladies and gentlemen, composer of Concerto for Herd. Bill Holman.
Bill Holman was one of the first composers to adapt the concepts of modern jazz to big band writing, and he's written for Stan Kenton, Jerry Mulligan, Terry Gibbs, and of course for Woody Herman. The festival's over and the crowds are going home. But backstage, Jimmy Lyons, Bill Holman, Woody Herman, and the band listen to the playback of Concerto for Herd. Monterey 1967 was a good year for jazz, and some of it will live in recordings. Some of it will live in the memories of those who were there. The solos of French drummer Daniel Humair. The first-rate playing of the Europeans like the Ambrossettis from Switzerland. Violinist Ray Nance, seen by many for the first time outside the Duke Ellington Band. Dizzy Gillespie, without whom, Jimmy Lyons says, you can't have a festival. Veteran Earl Father Hines, who broke it up closing night with his solo on St. Louis Blues. Monterey, 1967.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does it. I hope you've enjoyed the weekend. I hope that you will come back and visit with us again the third weekend in September of 1968. Till then, much love. God bless. Good night.